Good morning. I'm Jack Lucas and I'm the mayor of Monte Sereno. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood and a beautiful day to take a stroll through the city of Monte Sereno. One of the smallest city in the county, Santa Clara, and one of the newest cities. Monte Sereno was incorporated May 14, 1957, under the leadership of Vice Admiral Thomas B. Inglis and several other founders. Monte Sereno was incorporated at that time and has enjoyed a rich 29 years in Santa Clara County. I mentioned the Admiral, and at the city office we do have the book that he has written, The Battle of Peaceful Mountain, and if you are interested in learning a little bit about Monte Sereno, I strongly recommend The Battle of Peaceful Mountain. Also, for new residents of Monte Sereno, the League of Women Voters has prepared and published by the League's educational fund, Know Your City, a brief pamphlet designed for citizens of Monte Sereno who would like to know a little bit about the city. Let's take a walk over here to the map and I will show you some of the areas of Monte Sereno which I find delightful and I would like to share with you today. Monte Sereno sits here in the westerly side of the Santa Clara Valley. It's the area in green, and we're bordered to the west by Saratoga and to the east by Los Gatos. I have referred to it in the past as a rose between two thorns, but I'm sure Mayor Terry and Mayor Joyce know that I'm only kidding when I say that. Actually, we have a very good relationship with our two cities. At an earlier conference, at the League of California Cities Conference, another council member and I have challenged Mayor Joyce and a council member of her choice to the first ever Monte Sereno-Saratoga intercity tennis tournament. Where I think we should travel today, we're here now. I live in my home. I live in one of the northern points of Monte Sereno. We'll step over here and we'll go to one of our two common greens in the city. Areas of land permanently dedicated by the city as greenbelt area for the homeowners. The other one, Loma Serena, is here off Vineland, and Loma Serena was one of the first permanently dedicated common greens in the state of California. And I think this shows how the people of Monte Sereno are so deeply concerned. Our founders and the current council, past council members, are so deeply concerned in preserving greenbelt areas and the natural rustic environment in which we enjoy. From the canyon, we'll come down to the Saratoga-Los Gatos Highway, which divides Monte Sereno. As I say, I'm here at the north, and we go all the way up to the spine of the mountains. We'll drive by City Hall. We'll stop by and see one of our more interesting homes, the home of Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Varney. If you've been on Highway 9, I'm sure you'll recognize it on the south side of the highway. And from there, we will go up across the highway, go up into the hillier area of Monte Sereno, and we will show you a home of one of our former residents, John Steinbeck. And coming back across the highway into Monte Sereno, I think if we have the time, we will finish the tour taking a look at the one and only business that is within the city of Monte Sereno, which is entirely single resident homes. But we do have the one business, and we will save that for the end of the tour. So I think from this point, let's go down the canyon. Let's go down to Winchester, up Eaton, and we'll show you one of the two greenbelt areas known as the canyon. This is the canyon area, one of the two common greens within the city limits of Monte Sereno. The other common area is the Loma Serena area in the center of the city. It is private property. Both common greens are private property owned by the homeowners and permanently preserved as greenbelt for the enjoyment of the homeowners. I appreciate the homeowners allowing me to take my morning walk through the canyon. I always enjoy it. It's a beautiful area. The trees, the large eucalyptus, the oaks, the chaparral, the wild berries, the creek, the stone bridge. In fact, before it was deeded to the homeowners, this creek was a real haven for pollywogs. My son and several of the neighbors at one time had one of the finest pollywog collections in the state of California. Just a lovely area enjoyed by the homeowners. And what I think this area does, it reflects the spirit of Monte Sereno, the rural, open area, preserved for the community. And it's, as I say, I enjoy a stroll through the canyon, and those members of the community who do not have their homes adjacent to the canyon also enjoy it as they drive through town, coming down Eaton. It's a beautiful view. I think from this point we should go downtown, down to Highway 9. I'd like to show you one of the more distinct homes in Monte Sereno, and so let's go on downtown and take a look at it.
Jack, how are you?
Hi, Kathy. I was driving down Highway 9, Saratoga Los Gatos Boulevard, looked over and saw your home and felt I couldn't go by without stopping and saying hello.
Well, it's always so nice to see you, Jack. Maybe we can sit over in the swing and I can tell you a little bit about the house.
Fine. Well, Kathy, I think what I would like to know, and I think what the viewers would like to know, is how old is your home? How long have you and Dennis, Dennis Varney is the other half of the Varney family. Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Varney are the homeowners here. What have you done to the home, and what are your future plans?
Well, the home was built in 1890 by Thomas Mitchell, and we bought the house in 1972 and have lived here for the last 15 years and have been continuously working on the home. This house was originally built on 1.5 acres with 3 buildings, which are still existing on the property. Originally, this street, Saratoga Los Gatos Road, was lined with Victorian homes. This was considered the residential area of Los Gatos.
Didn't there used to be a trolley that connected the two cities, Los Gatos and Saratoga?
Yes, it was a cobblestone street, and there was a trolley car that connected Los Gatos and Saratoga, and there was a little stop outside in front of the home where people would catch the trolley to go to Saratoga.
You know, Kathy, besides the furnishings and the decorations, I've been here before, and I've seen the carriage house and the water tank. Could you describe those for the viewers?
The carriage house is still existing. It's at the top of the driveway, and they would bring the carriages up the top of the hill and put the carriages inside, and the horses were ran down below underneath, and it was a sort of an open-aired barn. And when we bought the house, the carriage house was falling off of its foundation. So Dennis and I spent about 2 years. We jacked the carriage house up, put a new foundation under it, and redid that room completely. So we would have a work room as we were restoring the house, a place to keep our tools, a place to work on wood and different furnishings that we were working on. Dennis does a lot of the work. He does all the lights and the brass work in the home, and so that was an important thing for us to do when we first bought the home. There's also a well house in the back, and we have our own well that was dug in 1890. It's a real interesting well. It's lined with bricks. It's about 50 feet deep, and it is a wonderful well. It's never even gone dry during the drought, and we still use that today. And the well house has been refurbished. The second floor of the well house is a playroom for the children, and the bottom floor is a bathroom and a laundry room. And also on the property, we've added a swimming pool and done some extensive brick work. We have a sort of a pool room, a cabana outside also.
Well, Kathy, thank you very much for letting me stop by. I think I'll mosey on down the road and take a look at some other homes in Monte Sereno. And again, my best to Dennis. I'm sorry we missed him, and thank you for your hospitality. Nestled in the Monte Sereno foothills are many lovely homes which enjoy a panoramic view of the Santa Clara Valley, including the one where I am at this time. This home has a great deal of historical significance to it. At one time, novelist John Steinbeck lived here, named the home Arroyo del Ajo, which translated literally means garlic gulch. And while Steinbeck was living here, he worked on his novel, The Grapes of Wrath. It's a lovely home, and the view is spectacular. I think from this point, we will go down into, travel north to the industrial complex of Monte Sereno and visit our only industry, which I mentioned earlier. I think you'll find it enjoyable and a real treat. Well, as I promised you, we would visit the only commercial industry in the city of Monte Sereno, and here we are at Claravelle Dairy, owned by Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Peak. Mr. and Mrs. Peak started the dairy in Campbell in 1926, moved to this location in 1931.
Well, few people surely have been as fortunate as I to spend as much time in such a, probably one of the nicest locations, or are the nicest location in the world, and doing something you love all those years. I probably should be one of the most grateful people of my generation living.
Thank you, Mr. Peak, and I think Monte Sereno will echo those sentiments that we're fortunate to have you, Clara Vale, as part of the Monte Sereno community. Lucky, do you have anything to say to that? Lucky has no comment at this time, which is probably the right thing to do. Clara Vale sits on 5 acres in northern Monte Sereno. Its milk continually ranks in state testing standards as one of the purest, with the highest rate of, goodbye Lucky, highest ranking for nutritional standards in the state of California. It's been a very enlightening day for me, again as mayor, to go through Monte Sereno. My old pappy used to say, short visit, long friends. Well, I hope my short visit with you has lengthened the friendship with the residents of Monte Sereno, the viewing audience, perhaps made some new friends. I too am fortunate to reside in Monte Sereno and to serve Monte Sereno as its mayor, and I would like to thank KCAT for the help they've given me today in our attempt to share Monte Sereno with the viewing audience of KCAT.
And good evening. I'm Chip Curry, a local producer for KCAT, Community Access Television, and it's good to be back here again on the telethon. We have raised over $1,000 since I've been here this afternoon, and this thing is really off the ground and swinging. With us this evening is Jack Lucas here from Monte Sereno, as a matter of fact, the illustrious mayor of Monte Sereno, and upcoming is a little program about Monte Sereno. Jack, why don't you give us an idea of some of your compadres down here this evening?
Thank you, Chip, and thank you for inviting Monte Sereno to participate in the Pledge-a-thon this evening. The pledge crew, to my right and to my left, share one very enjoyable experience. They all live in the garden spot of the West Valley, Baghdad south of Bay Shore. They are all residents of the city of Monte Sereno. They're committed to help KCAT, and they are committed to raise as much as we can within the next 30 minutes. And we're also, the city is committed to beat Los Gatos. We understand that Los Gatos was on a little sooner, and this crew that to my right and the left, who I will introduce right now, is pledged to raise more money in our segment than Los Gatos did earlier. So Mayor Daley, wherever you are, please accept this challenge. Beginning at the extreme end here, Daryl Butler. Next to Daryl is my daughter, Kathy Lucas, light of my life. Next to Kathy, Steve Szynski, Frank Bonacorsi, Jim Brunn, Diane Brunn, Mr. and Mrs. Brunn, Rosemary Pierce, who works in the Monte Sereno office as the administrative assistant, and Dave Butler, also the other half of the Butler family. Dave got things started, Dave and Daryl, by a check here, $100 made out to KCAT. So Monte Sereno out there, this is the kickoff. Let's get as much as we can, and let's see what we can do to Los Gatos. Here's another one. Frank and Yvonne Bonacorsi, that's a familiar name. Frank Bonacorsi, amount of pledge, $100. Frank, thank you, and Yvonne.
All right, all right.
BJ Crucci, 15631 Carril Court, Monte Sereno, $25. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Carucci from Carril Court. They've got to be neighbors of yours, Dave. Nice job. Go get them. Go get them. Chip, back to you. Where do we go from here?
Sure. Well, you know, Jack, our segment that we produced, you and I together 2 weeks ago out in the country in Monte Sereno is coming up, and it'll give everybody an idea of what a nice place you live in. I had no idea there were so many exciting things out in Monte Sereno, the houses and the community, the people, and the creek. And you got a beautiful place to live.
Well, we're proud of it, Chip. We love our city, and I hope this segment we're proud to share it with the community, and I look forward. I hope it doesn't do too much to your ratings tonight.
I hope it does a lot to our ratings. I hope it increases our ratings by about 3,000%. And the phones are starting to ring in here, Jack. I think you all have generated some exciting energy, or at least people are starting to communicate with people here. It's looking real good. As you know, that KCAT is community-sponsored television, and this is everybody out there's television station. It's not like we're actually just happening for ourselves. Everybody's welcome to come down here. We have open houses, and we have a producer's workshop happening every Saturday morning, which starts on the 23rd of August, whereas people who want to produce their own programs, if they have a group or something they'd like to have on the air, have a chance to come down and produce programs. There's a lot of people really participating in the show tonight. I guess it looks pretty good.
Dan Wyman?
Yeah, certainly.
Chip, I would like to introduce one more resident of Monte Sereno who's not at the table, but to my right, and that's Dan Wyman. The Honorable Dan Wyman serves with me on the City Council. And Dan, thank you for what you do for KCAT, representing our city on the Board of Directors.
As a matter of fact, we're going to go to Dan and Keith right now.
You know, I want to say something right off the top, and that I think Monte Sereno is going to beat Los Gatos, the town of Los Gatos, in this next half an hour for pledge raising. We do have some pledges to read, right, Dan?
We do indeed, but before we do that, Keith, let's mention here that if Los Gatos or Monte Sereno wants to have someone call in, then they have to know the number.
395 KCAT.
We come and call and make a pledge, please.
Yeah, pledge it, because right now on the tote board, if we can get it, we can spread out here a little bit. We have $3,750, and that has gone up, about $200 or $300 in the last few minutes. So we know you're out there. We know you're calling in. So call in 395 KCAT. Dan, would you like to read your pledges?
I certainly will. Keith, we have two contributions here. The first one from Myra Eberly, that's for $25, and the second from Marjorie Bunyard, also for $25. And Marjorie is from Saratoga, so she must get our cable cast as well. Thank you to both of you. Keith?
Yes, and I also have Al Simon, who has also pledged $25. 2 mugs to you, Al, and thank you very much. And Sandra Felt, which is $10. Thank you very much, Sandra. You know, we have these $100 donations rolling in from the town of Monte Sereno, and they're making the board go up because we want to raise $25,000, and this is where we're at right now. And we have about 3 hours to go tonight, 2 hours to go tonight, and more tomorrow afternoon. But call 395 KCAT. We're going to go to the town of Monte Sereno right now.
Film, I now understand why Clint Eastwood's on location and I'm here, but that's the way it goes. Somebody's got to stay home. Crew looks busy, all 8 of them busy on the phone. They're coming in. Monte Sereno, are you there? Let's keep it going. We're probably even with Los Gatos now. We've got the second half of the spectacular. Don't leave now to get refreshments. It'll be back on. And Chip, I really enjoyed making that brief film with you. What do you think?
Well, I think it came out good. I hope we don't lose you to Hollywood somewhere along the line, but I know there'll be some calls. One thing that, you know, looking at this Monte Sereno show reminds me, somebody called me earlier and said they'd like to make a pledge, but why should they give their money to KCAT and not some of the other community stations? And I said, well, this is a perfect place for you to see your local color. I mean, you wouldn't see a program about Monte Sereno except once every couple of years on San Francisco television, but right now we can see Monte Sereno, we can see Los Gatos, and also we're doing a program about the local wineries. A lot of people don't know that there's wineries right around the corner. And there's some other programs we're going to do about the open space areas in the area. There's some beautiful hikes that you can go to right around Monte Sereno and Los Gatos. You've got a beautiful town over there. I never realized, like we went up to the mountain and overlooked the city of Monte Sereno. It's a beautiful place to live.
Well, Chip, as you know, we'll see some of those shots from the mountain and back into our business, our one and only business in the second section of the film. We are very, very proud of our city. Very appreciative of KCAT serving us. We certainly enjoy public broadcasting, those of us on the cable, and we wish you a long, successful life here, serving both Los Gatos and Monte Sereno.
That's pretty exciting. And you know, actually, I mentioned this before, but the people in Monte Sereno, if they do want to come down to KCAT and see what we're doing down here, it's perfectly all right anytime. We're going to go over to the tote board right now and see what's happening. We're going to go over to Keith and Dan. Why don't you take it, fellas?
Thank you, Jack. Chip, we're over here, and Dan and I are holding a print from Armstrong. And Mr. Armstrong, this is a artist's proof print valued at $450. It was donated by Frank DeMoss from Arista Properties over on 228 Bachman Avenue right here in Los Gatos. And he's made this print available for the highest donation that we will receive over the next 2 hours. That's from right now until 11 o'clock. So the highest donation received, this $450 print, which they also have appraisals forms are available. So if you like this print, we have a few different colors to choose from on this print. He did them in various colors. And so it's a $450 value. So call in right now. The highest donation received for the next 2 hours, this print will go to you.
Keith, each of these artist proofs that someone can take their choice of. Each one is unique. I've noticed that while they all have the same subject matter, everyone is unique, everyone is different. The colors are different for everyone. So that will go to the highest contribution of the evening in the next 2 hours.
And this is called the Kite Club.
Kite Club.
Kite Club, and there's their club right there, and the kite.
Incidentally, that number is 395
5228, I'm sorry, KCAT. There we go.
395 KCAT. There are also some other premiums which you can take home for a contribution to KCAT right over here. Keith can describe some of them to you.
Card?
Okay, if you look over here, Dan, thank you. We have one is this Centennial belt buckle, solid brass, available to us by the Centennial Committee for a $100 donation. So call right now, 395 KCAT. Monte Sereno, we have a lot of pledges coming in right now, and we're going to go back to those pledges. In fact,
Jack will have a copy.
we're going to go back to Jack Lucas in just a moment for some of these pledges. But belt buckles here, 395 KCAT, $100 donation. The cups, our famous KCAT coffee mugs. Zoom in on that there, and then we have KCAT mugs.
Boy, you guys are
Available for a $25 donation. Now we're going to go back to Jack Lucas.
Don't list
And Jack, you have some donations to read. Look at this handful.
We got a flock over here. You guys are really hitting it. Why don't you tell us what we got?
Okay, I know we're running short of time. Jim Hunter, Monte Sereno. Thank you, Jim. $5. Dave and Lori Sesich, Monte Sereno. $50. Thomas Gleason, Blanchard Drive, Monte Sereno. $25. Tim Ryan, Tim from the Los Gatos Lions Club. $25, and a Monte Sereno resident. Reed Graham from Monte Sereno. $25. Chuck DeFreitas. I didn't know you moved, Chuck.
That's quite a crowd. Listen, we're going to wind it up right now, Jack, and we're going to see the second half of our Monte Sereno segment. And let's take a look at it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
to Around Town. I'm Carolyn Harvey, and
Carolyn Harvey, my favorite producer. What and why are you behind me? And this is Gene Goldberg to my right, the viewer's left. I'm an old pro at this.
What are you doing today?
What am I doing? I'm working the Lions barbecue.
What are we doing?
Be sure we get the release from Dr. Goldberg here, who manages all of our joint powers programs in the school district, recreation. Gene, this is it. That's you.
I didn't know.
no, we're just going around talking to some of the different lines. We're covering the barbecue today and some of the events and things that are going on. And just off-the-cuff kind of comments and remarks. So, Jack Lucas, what have you got to say? I want you to say it right to the camera there.
Oh, hello, Mike. Well, it's my 11th barbecue in Lions Club. It's the 31st barbecue that we have had. After so many barbecues, you rise in your position, and my job is to take an account of the hourly tickets servings and compare them with last year's and years in the past. And we're looking for a large increase this year because we're back with the Fiesta de Arts, and that's my job. Where'd Goldberg go? He was here. He's gone. He must have. Some of the newer Lions are out there in the sunshine working downwind of the barbecue pit or out in the games. I don't know, Carolyn, anything else you need to know about it?
Thank you, Jack. That's great.
Well, thank you.
Here we are with Rick Miller, who is going to introduce us to his friend over here. Rick, hi, how are you?
How are you? Fine. I'm Rick Miller, as she says, with Los Gatos Lions Club. We're down here doing our 31st annual barbecue. I've got John Moore, who is a co-chair of the car raffle this year, who has done an excellent job for us. Moore Buick, do a free advertisement here for K-Cat, but everything looks good. The Fiesta downtown with the Chamber of Commerce is doing fantastic. Lots and lots of people down there. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of people up here for our barbecue. We sure appreciate you people coming up here and filming this, so we'll have this on record. So that means we have to be good, right, this year? So anyway, John Moore, say a few words.
Thank you, Rick. This is our 4th annual car raffle that we're endeavoring to pull off this year, and each year we've sold upwards of 250 tickets at $100 a ticket. The winning ticket, which is the last ticket drawn from the raffle, is the lucky winner of a brand new automobile from either Moore Buick or Cerrito Chevrolet here in town. Along the way, every 10th ticket drawn is worth $150, and midway point, the 125th ticket is the winning lucky ticket holder wins a trip to Hawaii for 2. So we're looking for some lucky winners today, Rick.
Joe, we're gonna have them. We're gonna have fun.
I know in the past we've been lucky to have a couple Lion members be winners of the tickets, and contrary to popular belief as far as palming tickets and things like that, that really doesn't happen, folks. This is all on the up and up. We even have ex-police chiefs here making sure that everything is on the up and up. So that's all I've got, Rick. I'll turn it back to you.
Like I say, thank you for being down here, Carol. You guys are doing a fantastic job down there at K-Cat. It's good to see some new blood in there and make this thing work. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rick. We sure do appreciate all the support that the Lions Club has given us, especially in our telethon. And, you know, we look forward to working with you again in the future and covering your events and helping you out.
Good. Thank you. That's it, pal.
Well, these ladies are folding forks here, wrapping them up in the napkins. Do you expect a big crowd today?
I imagine it will be a pretty big crowd. Lovely weather.
Fiesta downtown. There should be a pretty good crowd. We hope so. And what time did you start getting ready for this barbecue this morning?
I was in here at 10. So now 12:30. But I haven't spent 2.5 hours folding forks.
Great. Well, thank you. Gosh, and how long does the barbecue usually last?
About 5, 6. Yes, I think they stopped serving around 5. Do they? I don't know. Ask
Seems to be
Sarah.
light at 7.
That might be right.
Well, we'll go find out.
Yes, ask the boss. Sarah. With the yellow earrings.
Wow, this is Sarah Shea, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the salad they're mixing up here.
Oh dear, the salad we're mixing. Well, the barbecue, we just started rolling. A few people are over there ready to have salad. We mix the salads here, take it over to the serving line. The barbecue will be running until 7 o'clock this evening.
Great! Wow, do you expect a lot of people here today, Sarah?
Yeah, usually late in the afternoon. They'll just start pouring in, and it's pretty heavy between 5 and 7. People come over and have dinner, and they have a good time.
Here we go again. Carolyn is doing it again.
The last time she saw me.
Okay. Now let's see. What I'm going to ask you is,
Yeah, I kept mine on. Wait a minute. We're getting...
wow, gee whiz, they're starting to get a little frisky here. We're with Frank Blaisdell, and I want to ask Frank how long he's been a Lion. Frank, how long have you been a Lion?
About 3 years. I'm still a young Lion, so I have to do whatever they tell me to do.
Oh, gee whiz.
They abuse me a lot. Throw water at me, things like that.
This is Frank Lausanier. Frank, how long have you been in the Lions Club?
About 24 years.
24 years.
Past president. I've ran about 5 barbecues. And we do a lot of good service work in town. I think there's no greater club in the world than Lions Club. What else to say? What else you want me to say? Yeah. I hope that we get a big crowd this year because every dime that we make goes back into the community and it really helps out Los Gatos. We've had so many worthwhile projects and we can continue to do our good work. So I hope we are real successful today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bill Blackwell, Jerry Sloan, Mary Ellen. You want to see what he set that table up for you? Over, would you come to the cooking area?
This is Joan Davies, and Joan, I understand you're going to have a big turnout today.
We surely are. We expect about 2,000. And we serve from 12 to 7. Let's see here. I have probably been with the Lions Club for about 21 years. I've never missed a barbecue.
Well, that's great, Joan.
Cute.
I guess it's a lot of fun coming out every year for these big picnics.
Absolutely. Lots of fun. Lots of hard work and lots of fun also.
Does a lot of planning go into these barbecues? How much in advance?
Oh, I think they plan from year to year. They start planning for the next one. Yes.
Barry Sloan, Chuck Stewart, George Wilson, Jim Shea.
Thank you,
Bob
Joan.
Leonard,
Thank you.
Dan Gerber.
Backlight?
Everything's going great.
We're not going in.
Oh.
When the red light comes on, I have to count to 5 and then I ask you.
Tell me what you're going to ask me so I can prepare myself.
Okay, we're over here by the grill with Harvey Diesner. Harvey, how are we doing here on the cooking?
We're just doing great, Carolyn. We're on the bread over here, and things are just getting started. We're starting to see some people come in, and the weather's fantastic, and we're going to look for a great and fantastic barbecue as we usually put on every year. We appreciate K-Cat coming down and participating with us, and hope you'll try one of our fantastic steaks later on today.
Sure will. Looking forward to it.
You got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lion Al broke me in. He's going to take over. Yeah, someday. So how do you
Okay,
like that, huh?
we're over here with
We got 3 generations of bean cooks right here. You helped. You never were the head guy.
You're right. You didn't teach me right.
That's right. So here we are at another Lions Club barbecue. Terrific, and now all we have to do is wait for the people.
That's right. That's what Brother Cordy says, right here and right now.
Right.
Just waiting for the people to come in. They should be arriving momentarily.
Absolutely. And all seriousness, it is a progression. We're taking over, and young blood comes into the organization and then takes over, and then we move on to different things. But the barbecue is still here for the town, and it's a good town gathering.
Hey, George, welcome through there.
This is Reginald Hughes. Reg, I understand that you've been in the Lions Club for a while.
That's right, quite a while, 44 years. With perfect attendance for 44 years. Proud of it. And I enjoy the Lions Club, and I want to help and serve, and the way I brought up in life to help and share, and I enjoy doing it.
Well, I know you certainly helped us out a lot on our fundraising telethon that we had. We appreciate that very much.
I'm glad to do it. I wish I could have done more.
Well, just having you in our town. It's just a real thrill for us.
Thank you very kindly, Infinity Mutual.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we also have over here with us Sam Yablonsky. Sam, I understand you've been in the Lions Club for a while also.
Well, yeah, since I was inducted in 1961. And I've been in it ever since. It's a wonderful organization. We have the theory that we should help those that are less fortunate than us, and we do. We really do. And I've really enjoyed the club and the members, and takes my mind off of everything else. I've been retired for quite a few years, so I really enjoy the club now.
Well, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Come here, you are a guest of Jim Shea. Get over here.
Okay.
Then we'll show Kelly.
Yeah, how's my friend Kelly doing?
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't be looking for a job.
Oh, I better stand up. This is not class.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Jim
Jim,
Shea,
I'll see you around.
All right, fella. You're on.
we'll see you.
Bye.
Nice to see you again.
Bye.
Well, Jim Shea, president of the Lions Club, how are things going here at the barbecue?
Well, I think it's a little early to right now, but about 2, 3 o'clock, you just got to take a look around. You can't even get a seat around here. So give it a little bit more time. The drawing will probably start in about another hour, and we'll be drawing off, raffling off that ticket for the car and the trip to Hawaii.
Oh, there's a trip to Hawaii, too?
Halfway through the drawing, there's 250 tickets, and the 125th one drawn wins a trip to Hawaii for 2. And then every 10th ticket wins $150. So towards the end, it does build up with the excitement, and when it comes close to the car.
Great. Thank you.
You bet.
Harry? Harry
Richards.
Harry Richards. Okay. Well, Harry Richards, how are we doing here on our ticket sale?
Oh, we're just selling them like mad. All the kids are coming up. Folks are all thirsty. They want beer and Cokes, so they're coming right up all the time. Been great.
You have tickets for cold drink? A couple of soft drinks.
Donnie Smart, how are we doing over here on the tickets?
Well, we're doing fine. We're expecting to have a big crowd, so right now we're getting some of the tickets set up in groups of $5 each, so it's quicker to wait on the customers when they are crowding us a little bit. Later on, I expect there'll be people all around this booth wanting to get some kind of tickets, and so we want to be ready for them. Is that what you want me to say?
This is Tim Roseanne, the chairman of the barbecue. Tim, thank you for taking a few moments. I know you're real busy. How are things going?
Well, it's a little slow yet, but it'll pick up. Yeah, it's about expected, like it goes every year.
Tim, how long does it take to plan for a barbecue, an event like this?
Oh, I started in January when I purchased the meat and went on from there, and getting all of the permits from the town, and about January we start working on it.
How many people do you have on your committee?
Well, Ray Bordelucci and I are spearheading it, and then we have for each, one chairman for the beer and soft drinks and the tickets and the different games and the cooks and what have you. So 10, 15 different committees, and all of the Lions Club members. It's a mandatory event. They get fined heavily if they don't show.
Oh, they do. Big fines, huh?
Yes, big time.
Oh, I understand the Lions Club do have fines for things, so...
Oh, yes, yes. Well, it all gets poured back into the community. The town, this is our major fundraiser between this and the car raffle. Our major amount of funds that we receive are from that, and of course, we've always every year poured it back into the town. And,
this is what we do it for. We try and have fun doing it too.
Well, it certainly looks like it's going to be a lot of fun here
Good
today.
weather today.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Hey, Jack Neal, how are we doing today?
We are having a fantastic day here at the park. It is a beautiful sunny day out. We're now about 1 o'clock. People are starting to show up. It's going to be a fantastic day. Lots of people are going to show up. We're going to have a car raffle here in a couple of hours. We're going to have some fantastic music. I understand we're having some bluegrass music. Just a great day. Great day at the park.
Gee, are those your kids over there?
Unfortunately, one is, but the two are just friends, yes.
Why don't we have them come on over?
Well, I think they're camera shy. No, two of them have a baseball game to play today. They're playing softball. The other one's heading off to go to Chico State, but they're camera shy, yes.
Okay, well, at least we can say, hi, kids.
Hi, kids. Bye, kids.
Hi, Dad. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Destro, and we're here to serve the community. We're part of the Lions Club.
My name's Bob Winters. My same thinking. We're here to raise money, and it goes all to charity. So hope all you people come down and take a look at what we're doing.
Well, how long have you been a Lion?
I've been a Lion for about a year and a half now. About a year and a half. It's one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've ever had. Really enjoy it.
Okay, Mike, how long have you been a Lion?
Since about 1977, when I was originally a bank manager here in town. A very enjoyable experience over the last decade. Thank you.
Reed, this is your big fundraiser of the year, is that right?
That's correct, Carolyn. The money from the proceeds from the barbecue will go to help primarily the local community. We have put together things for the high schools, for the junior highs. We have a special emphasis on the hearing disabled and blind. And the funds we try to keep as much as possible in town. We also have some sponsorship.
Club. Hal, thank you very much for taking a few moments. I know you're busy right now. You're working on the tickets.
Just trying to get the book reconciled to go with the drawing in about another hour. And we're down to the last few tickets outstanding. As far as we know, we have about 18 left unsold, but we feel we'll be able to push those in the crowd here and get them sold and be fully sold by about 2:30 or 3 when we start.
Ticket 235. Position number 7. 196. 196. number 6. 31. You were close. Position number 5. 109. Ticket number 109. Okay, we got 4 tickets left. We still got a ticket out. Who wants to sell it? I think we'll. $200. $300. Any of you guys talking to each other about trading or bartering or nothing? Time to deal. Time to deal. Okay. You still got yours in there. Number 247 or number 4. 120. Ticket number 120. Okay, we got 3 left. We got 3 left.
Where's the name? Where's the name? I'm about to throw someone at you.
All right, and
164.
164.
Ron Wheeler.
Ron Wheeler. Okay, we got 2 left. 2 left. We got first place, and when we got no first place. Okay? I mean, we either got, there's no first place or first place. So, there's no first place is ticket number 178. Persona. And then we have first place. Ticket 136. J.F. Cook of San Jose. Is J.F. Cook here? All right. Thank you very, very much.
Well, that about wraps up our program, the big barbecue here at Oak Meadow Park with the Los Gatos Lions Club. So keep watching KCAT Channel 6 for more programs about interesting people and interesting events around town.
Good morning. We're members of the Central Fire District, and we have a couple things to tell you this morning. Number one is we'd like to thank you for your support last year at the Big Lexington Fire. And number two is we would like you to support KCAT and Membership Television by sending in your donations.